I represent some of the victims of the Marikana massacre. I never thought that at my age I would have to do such a case against the police.
It must have been a terrible disappointment to you to see a thing like that happening.
Absolutely.
When it was one of the very things that the ANC were against that the Nationalist Party were doing.
Well, yes. The ANC government, from the president down, regret what happened at Marikana. They have appointed a good, impartial judge. They have appointed good lawyers to investigate on behalf of the commission. The Legal Resources Center have a team of no less than 6, of which I am the head. And we have, in regard to our experience, because we did cases against the apartheid regime, we hope to make a contribution for the truth to prevail.
Isn't it like watching a mirror image again, all this happening? All this demonstration in the streets now, trade union activism. Isn't this almost like an echo again?
There are similarities, but there is a big difference. And that is that we have a very good constitution which guarantees the rights of people, the right to life, the right to equality.
Georgia, I agree with you. We've probably got one of the finest constitutions ever in the world. Yes. If you look at the American Constitution and so on, and the British Constitution from Money Media, it's far superior. But is that not only usable for somebody who's got money without people like yourself, who represents people free of charge, gratis? Is the law not for the greedy and not for the needy?
There is some truth in it, but it is not an absolute truth. Because although the egalitarian society that we wanted South Africa to become, where there was no poverty, there was good education, there would be good health service, there would be no hungry people, and that has not been achieved. But those who say that nothing has changed are wrong. There have been fundamental changes. We have millions more children at school. We have hundreds of thousands more people at universities. We have opened the doors of hospitals that were closed to black people. It may not be enough. It's not the perfect society that we dreamed of as an egalitarian country. But to say that nothing has changed is wrong.
Some of the things that you're talking about, it quite fairly, have been accomplished. But much of it has been, unfortunately, destroyed by greed, avarice, plundering, and so on. And that was never in the Constitution.
Of course it is not in the Constitution, and it was not what Nelson Mandela and his colleagues and many of us fought for.
So how did it happen, George?
It happens. We had a non-violent revolution. Violent revolutions are usually counterproductive. The French Revolution led to the reign of terror. The Russian Revolution led to Stalinism. Some of the violent revolutions in North Africa led to dictators been in power for many years and consider authority to be their privilege to enjoy for life, or even after them, their families benefit from the exercise of power. All those things are true. But we have a constitution. We have independent courts. We have freedom of expression.
There are people that will argue about that point with the laws that they try to bring in on freedom of the press.
Well, they tried. They've been trying for 3 or 4 years.
Do you agree or disagree with that, freedom of the press? The press sees itself as being restrained now with this new law.
Well, you know, they cry wolf too easily, I think. But we, on behalf of the Legal Resources Center, appeared before the Select Committee on the Secrecy Bills, as it is commonly called. And we drew attention to the unconstitutional provisions in the bill. And I have been quoted extensively, particularly that you pass this bill and you must expect a queue of lawyers before the Constitutional Court to declare it invalid. And I want to say to you that in our opinion, after all, I was on the team that wrote the Constitution. In order to declare it unconstitutional, they listened. They removed about 6 or 7 out of the 9 serious objections that we had. The media say that they want public interest defense. Well, they've come very near it, but not absolutely. But it's still been delayed because of this intervention, not only of the Legal Resources Center, but the Human Rights Commission, innumerable professional bodies, including the legal profession, members of the judiciary. They're not having, the government is not having it easy.